Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Beverly Hills. We had a wonderful international press conference today with all the global leaders, and we discussed violence. Only one subject, violence. We have three portions of it. The first one was the introduction. What does violence mean to each one of the speaker? So there's a physical violence, mental violence, emotional violence, social violence. Rape is a violence, right? Eating the wrong food is a violent act for the body. So violent is an action that's deliberately taken to hurt someone. It is not unconscious, it's a conscious effort. So this is all the definition we came up to. And I wrote down all this recommendation in conclusion. We have solution for violence in the society. What are we going to do? Because no point having a conference when we are talking about violence. So number one is Mr. Dusty Lane recommended that what he used to do, he used to take these rough and tough kids to visit the prison. So they will actually handcuff them. They will take them to a prison. They will have an experience, those people in prison. They're saying, okay, baby, I'm going to eat you up. Okay, you my candy. So these kids had a horrible experience because they need to know the consequences. And he was insinuating that fear is very important. Because it's just like if you go to Saudi Arabia, there's nobody committing a rape. There's nobody stealing because they know the consequences, what's going to happen. I'm not saying we should be Saudi Arabia. I'm just saying that these kids are so spoiled. Our kids have everything. And then, oh, I'm depressed, I'm this, I'm bored, because they're not connected and they don't value the freedom and what we have to offer in this country. So my address to the youth, that you need to value what you have and stop feeling sorry for yourself. I want you to get up and get going with your life, and you have a choice. And this is what you have a choice to be violent. Those people did the violence on the street. They were not the people coming from settled families. These are the people, they were not centered selling their soul. Do you understand? So you can have silent demonstration, but violence. So there are different types of violence. That was a social violence. So let's talk about right now, and Dr. Raj, who is the best cardiologist, and he is also online doctor. He is a man of wisdom. He shared his, and he said the parents needs to act with non-violence. Because he said it's a learned behavior, because they see parents, they see friends, they see media, they see music. It's all violent. So the parents has to monitor what the children are listening and what are they doing. Because if you are not aware, before you know, 2 weeks ago, I have a kid committing suicide because he was listening to the music. To kill yourself, I know meaning of life, I want to die, so he died. So transition is not a problem, but it's a violent act. Committing suicide is a violent act. And now I'm going to discuss our young ambassador, Mr. Gabriel. He recommended, he has an app to teach wisdom. In this way, he's going to click on, okay, this happened, that's happened, and they will have students write down the answer, how they will act in certain direction. Let's say they show a video of looting, so then they have an answer A, B, C, D. So the students should have wisdom classes. It creates consciousness, okay? So it's very important that we work on it. And Dr. Sohail from Commonwealth in London, his recommendation was parents should teach the kids self-defense and learn to say no. So his kid was bullied in school. So he told his son, when you see the tallest guy, I want to attack him. And do it, because he feels like he doesn't want his son to be weak. It's not a matter of violence behavior, but he wanted to make sure that they don't touch him anymore. They harassed him a lot. So and he was not responding. So they took it as an act of stupidness, and he is not a smart person. So he later, when he did that, the teacher called him, and he explained to the teacher that I have to teach my son self-defense since my son was not safe in school because you guys were not doing it. So he had to do it. But after all these children got together and they become very good friends. So that's a good ending of it. And we have our ambassador, Peter Rogina. He is a Peace Light invention that he has done. His Peace Light plays in United Nations thousands times, and a lot of workplaces. They just play. It's very smooth, and it has energy. It creates you diversity, and it gives you positive energy. So he was saying they can play a soft Peace Light silently in the classroom while the teacher is teaching, and engage the teacher and the students in breathing. Their math will be better, their English will be better, they will be calmer because they're breathing constantly. How can there be a violent act? So another peace leader, TJ Meyer, Miss TJ Meyer, she spoke on installing God in the institutions, in schools, because it's very important for children to have faith. Any faith, but must have faith. Because the faith keeps them fear, like nobody's here, Lord is watching me, so I better not do that. So it creates a fear in their heart, so they stay centered. So because a lot of the students, then they come to rehab center, 80% of the rehab is done by religious institutions, so they're doing some job, right? And it has to come from the parents. And all the youth, I'm trying to tell you something, you don't need anything. You keep in charge. You become in charge of your own life. Take charge. Who's stopping you? No, don't smoke. Don't take drugs. Don't go anywhere, because you're going to have a lot of problem, because there are two ways of going. And then Gloria Kings, who is a United Nations very high profile personality, wonderful dame, Gloria Kings. She's like my sister. According to her, rape is the act of violence all over the world. And she said this rape needs to stop. In order to stop, we need to have severe penalty that needs to be paid. Severe penalty of intruding and violating a child or woman's right. Okay, so she is very passionate about it, and this is why I'm sharing all the results. So we need to have rules and regulation, and that's why our Mr. Dusty, our Ambassador Dusty Lane, he went back and he talking about the prison. See, so it works. Whatever works for these criminals, whatever works for these crazy people, there's nobody mental patient in Saudi Arabia, I'm just telling you, because they know the consequences of the rape, what's going to happen. Then we have His Eminence, Dr. Madhuk Krishna. He spoke on fighting within ourselves, the violent, the devil within ourselves. And in order to do this, you need to have some faith, and then you have to understand this is not me. Remember, in essence, we are identical. All my youth, I want you to remember, in essence, we are identical. Kind, compassionate. Even, I have interviewed one of the guy, he killed somebody, and he said, I'm a nice person. Why did you do it? I don't know. So it wasn't him, was it? In his soul and my soul and your soul is identical. So what happened is he become emotionally violent. So again, it's an act of violence. See, thinking about a beautiful woman, okay, I'm going to get hold of her and I'm just going to rape her. But actually doing is a problem. Because men always have these kind of thoughts in them, but actually having it is a big problem, right? So then you have to know the consequences, you're going to pay for it. And Miss Bonzi Williams, who is the Vice President of Art for Peace Awards, she sent a message on, she spoke like 10 Commandments are very important to teach the students because it's a commonality to many faiths. And she believes with the faith, the children will have a conscience awakened to be good, to be kind, to be compassionate, to be non-violent. So in order to be non-violent, we have to discuss violence. So we understand what violence does. Violence take you downhill. Violence take you to jail. Violence will hurt many people around you. With violence, you're going to lose all your loved ones. So all the youth, I want you to think about it. What is violence? Take a paper and pencil, write it down. All the stuff that violence does, then you don't need to worry about non-violence. It's already there. And this is why I'm here, and I don't want to talk about it. I want to give you some tools. So I'm going to give you some tools. When you are angry, I want you to inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Breathe, and I want you to do ha, 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 ha. And keep doing this as my, look, and do this pinching and go up and down. Hold this here, and you do ha, ha, ha. Google laughing yogi and yogi and say ha 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 ha. Laugh, enjoy, be kind, and enjoy your life. You don't need to be depressed, okay? So these are the solutions that we have given today for our press conference on International Day on Violence. So my heart to your heart, love and peace. And we are one. I love you guys.